outside the country that he could not for the first time be present and had to travel immediately. So I stand for him and I especially welcome everybody. I welcome our Royal Chief especially. Welcome, thank you for coming. We appreciate your presence and everybody who is also here. Well, this is our normal time. We come together as a family to cross-pollinate our ideas, look at our progress, and see how far we've gone. We're trying as much as possible to take things concisely today so that we leave as much as possible in time. I thank you all for being here, and I would like to ask that we try to be very brief in our presentations, questions, and answers in the course of this meeting. Let us always stand up, identify ourselves properly, and our branches we represent or we come from, so that the minutes can capture our deliberations very well. I pray that the wisdom of God will rest on all of us and that we have this family meeting in a very peaceful and orderly manner. Once again, thank you for coming. May God bless all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That is a welcome address by the PG, who is ably represented here today by the Vice President General, Mr. Richard Omo. Thank you very much, sir. The next item on the agenda is 6. The President General, sir, members of the High Table, once again, you are welcome. I'm going to go through the minutes of last year AGM. Gave the opening prayers. Then the secretary presented an agenda to the 48 members who attended the AGM. Mr. Gabriel Imamo moved a motion for the adoption of the agenda and was seconded by Mr. Raphael Adoye. Mr. Gabriel Imamo introduced members of the High Table, including the BOT members, National ESCO members, and so on. Opening address, the President General, Dr. Sonia Kamiko, welcomed the participants and thanked them for attending. He noted poor attendance. He urged members to participate actively towards efforts at developing EOGM. Reading of minutes of 2022 AGM, this was done by the Secretary General, while other members also went through. Corrections of minutes of 2022 AGM. Item number 12 to be corrected as thieves went into the house of Dr. Nessie Idogo. Adoption of the minutes. In the absence of any further corrections, Mr. Osinbeme Achieve moved a motion for the adoption of the minutes and was seconded by Mr. Matthew Alegiono. Matters arising from the minutes. Issues on borehole at Ikekede. It was noted that someone was claiming sole ownership of the borehole at Ikekede, since he holds the land in which the borehole was drilled. The PG responded that the National ESCO fed and that the money realized from the sale of water for 4 years was unaccounted for. The PG said he either interacted with the owner of the house where the borehole is located, but surprisingly, the man breached the generating set twice. After carrying out the repairs, at these actions, approval for the drilling, the borehole was sited at Igoko Junction. That is the former marketplace, being a free land, and asked the home-based chairman to take charge and control the fetching of the water once the project is completed. He praised the effort of individuals in the absence of government subventions. He referred to sale of water at Ikede for 4 years without the operator accounting for the money realized from sales. The PG said the Ifashe borehole would be repaired with 200,000 naira while discussing with Prince Agba. While Senior High Chief John Abu had a different view, as he suggested that number 10, President General's address. The PG thanked the OGHE BOT members and other members of the union for paying their dues and levies necessary for development. He highlighted some achievements recorded during the year, including construction of classrooms, solving water problems, restoring electricity to the community, etc., and expressed his gratitude to those who assisted and ensured successes. However, there were some misunderstandings. For instance, in Benin City, there were tense campaigns for the chairmanship position. The chairman was interested in contesting for a third tenure, but audit report indicted some indictments. However, the audit report was not submitted to the National ESCO for further action. Therefore, the National ESCO asked both the incumbent chairman and the auditor, who was also contesting, to step aside. In Lagos, there were difficult issues, and the chairman was not reachable. Some members owed dues of over 42,000 naira each, meaning such member has not paid his dues for about 4 years. The PG therefore sacked the chairman and the financial secretary. In Port Harcourt, the PG view was to allow the chairman, Senior High Chief Boni Igwemo, complete his tenure before election of new branch ESCO. Surprisingly, the National Treasurer, who is supposed to defend our Constitution, announced result of elections into new positions in the platform, and for this, he was removed from the national platform. Worse still, took the matter to the union. In the process, some people left the recognized OGHE OKUGBE union in Port Harcourt and formed another OGHE group. And this earned them a sack. He called on affected members to praise up and recognize the leadership of Senior High Chief Igwemo. The PG was happy with the printed constitution, as it will serve as a guide to community issues. He instructed that the constitution be distributed to all members present, while those who were absent would buy the constitution. He appreciated chairmen of state branches and begged all members to cooperate, work hard, and pay dues and development levies properly, as names of defaulters will be removed from the national platforms by January 2024. We hope to see a comprehensive list of members of Kaduna branch by January 30, 2024. He noted the absence of the Kaduna branch chairman. I wonder how Kaduna branch chairman, who was a member of the Constitution Drafting Committee, should misinterpret the Constitution and challenge him thrice. That is all the constitutional matters. He emphasized the need to adhere to the Constitution and follow due process in case of constitutional amendment. He warned against stealing and the effort of the National ESCO, as defaulters will be jailed in Benin City, effective January 2024. He noted that Igoge was reputed for good conduct, unlike some other villages. He urged members to continue to pay their dues and levies on time, based on the membership strength of the branches. He mentioned that more branches were created during the year, including Ibadan, Auchi, and requested for unity and thanked all for attending the AGM. Adoption of President General's address. Mr. Gabriel Silama Imamo moved a motion for adopting the PG speech as a working document. Deliberation on President General's address. The House engaged in an in-depth discussion. The non-payment of development levies by some members was exhaustively discussed. Mr. Gabriel Imamo suggested that defaulters of development levies should not be removed from the national platform. Instead, they should be disallowed from taking part in discussions or celebrating chieftaincies and so on the platform. Other members who had the same views as Mr. Gabriel Imamo include Mr. Godwin Imamo, Senior Royal High Chief, Igetemo, Omonomo. Omonomo suggested the use of Excel sheet to debit defaulters every year. Mr. Osia Chief appealed for extension of the period for payment, say about 6 months, after which defaulters should be removed from the platforms. Senior High Chief Barrister Monte Udomo commended the National ESCO and said the collection of development levies is the responsibility of the state or branch chairman. Mr. Charles Okuma joined his voice, saying, in the past, defaulters were not allowed to celebrate any event at all unless they pay 50,000 naira as fine. And he suggested that the penalty be reintroduced when names of those who refuse to pay be publicized in the platforms as stipulated on page 17 of the Constitution. Responding, the PG advised the PG envisaged difficulty in allowing defaulters to stay in the platform but not allowed to participate in discussions. He expressed disappointment and blamed the branch chairman who always hides names of defaulters. He asked for appropriate time to be given to defaulters to pay their levies. Senior High Chief Sunday Momo suggested that names of both payers and defaulters be published in the platform simultaneously. Adam Okugbe was not permitted to contribute to the discussion. As he confirmed to be a member of the faction in Port Harcourt, he was asked to leave the meeting and he humbly complied. Ambassador Chief Peter J.E. Anegbe was unhappy with discontinuation of area fine, that is the 50,000 naira for defaulters, and inquired why mango trees along the road were cut down in Ilorin. The Sausia chief added that fines collected at all, which were supposed to be paid to the national account, were shared by home to be paid to the national account, were shared by home-based members, saying that it is inappropriate for them to collect fines in the community and then send the money to those in the cities. And this resulted to lapses in collecting the fines. He suggested sharing formula for the collected fine, say 60-40. Mr. Agoye Sylvester of Ibadan branch informed the House that their members would like to know the use of the development levies. Responding, the PG said the OGHE replied to National ESCO on the reason the mango trees were cut down, saying that the mango fruits were diseased and children who ate such mangoes had stomach pains, and apologized for the unintentional destruction of periodicity poles. The National ESCO advised that in future, cutting of diseased mangoes should be carried out carefully without destroying the electricity poles. Contributing online, the BOD chairman, Otumba, gave his advice as follows. The branch chairman should be given up to January 15, 2024 to submit names of members in their branches, to create Excel sheets showing names of both payers and defaulters. Both payers and defaulters should be published in the relevant platforms. Chief Patrick Aligiono appreciated PG and the entire National ESCO and prayed for continued God's guidance. He suggested that the levy seemed not to be the problem, and that the real issue is the unwillingness of some members to pay just 5,000 naira a year. He advised that payers should be listed on the national platforms, and this would ginger defaulters to pay theirs. He requested for cooperation and support of everyone. Chief CEM Yerubu supported the idea of publishing payers as well as defaulters. Chief John Abu suggested an increase of the fine from 50,000 naira to 100,000 naira. PG responded that the 50,000 naira is constitutional, which would need amendment prior to increasing the fine. Mr. Andrew Idaye from Suleja identified the problem as the unwillingness of those at home to advise their people in the city. Financial report. The Financial Secretary, Mr. Charles Oguma, gave highlights of the financial report as follows. Annual financial statement. They are there. Itemized total levies, other receipts, expenses. Electricity, OGHE, the community secondary school, administrative expenses, security expenses. AGM proposed money. Then the summary, total expenditure 4.3 million, balance as at 2022, 5.1 million, cash advance 2 million, cash at hand 670,000 naira, fund available 2.7 million. The PG portrays the financial report with other expenses. He mentioned that Engineer Egbert Momo disbursed money to me for the following activities: innovation of the Corpus Lodge, 1.7 million; installation of gatehouse, 1 million. That's 1 million naira. He explained that work of the gatehouse was delayed due to the action of the man who was to install the gatehouse. The man bought 5 inches block, whereas 6 inches block was paid for, and so the job was taken away from him. The PG personally bought 4 mattresses for use in the Corpus Lodge. Discussions of the financial reports. Mr. Gabriel Momo moved a motion for discussion of the financial report. However, Senior High Chief Engineer Gabriel Akko moved a motion for acceptance of the report as presented and was unanimously supported. Addressed by POT Chairman. Representative of the POT Chairman, Senior High Chief Patrick Aligiono, addressed the House. He appreciated the National ESCO under the leadership of Dr. Sonny Akabiyoko. He expressed satisfaction and happiness on the work of the National ESCO. He prayed for continued wisdom, God's guidance, and enablement for more accomplishments by the ESCO. He explained that POT members thought it wise to allow the foundation being laid by the National ESCO to continue for a second tenure. The solution of the National ESCO after a 3-year tenure. The National ESCO was officially dissolved by a motion moved by Mr. Mahmoud Ikegbe and supported by Mr. O.C. Achif. Senior High Chief Engineer Gabriel Akko moved a motion for the dissolved National ESCO to continue serving the Ilorin community for 3 more years based on their excellent performance during the first tenure. And the motion was seconded by Comrade Mike Omoswapu. Constitution of the new National ESCO. The National ESCO members were directed by the representative of BOT Chairman, Senior High Chief Patrick Aligiono, to occupy the vacant seats without any objection. The PG advised the National Treasurer to cooperate and work with the only recognized chairman of Port Harcourt branch. The chairman advised the PG to put his house in order and get back to BOT after the swearing-in ceremony. The new National ESCO members were sworn in by Senior High Chief Barrister Monday Udomo. The PG took the oath on behalf of other National ESCO members, and congratulatory greetings were showered on the new National ESCO members. The PG gave an acceptance speech on behalf of the National ESCO, indicating the passion and readiness of the National ESCO members to continue to serve in our community diligently. He appreciated both members, BOT members, and the entire Iboke community for the opportunity and pledged for continuing the community. He revealed the decision of the National ESCO as communicated to BOT members to organize OGHE Day celebration every other year